Yo, what's up? This is Duckwrth here at Thizzler. Subscribe below. Who is Duckwrth? Duckwrth is a human of the sorts. He's a creative, I suppose. A lot of my whole existence just has to do with just creating something new, something brand new, turning like a thought into something that's tangible or something that you can listen to. So yeah, for the most part, creative. Other than that, I'm cooking a little bit better, so maybe one day I'll be like a culinary person. But for now, I'm just a creative. Yeah, so I was born in South Central to a mom named Deborah Lee and a father named Jerry Lee. And we both were, my dad was a musician, my mom was an accountant, but she also sang. So, and then my whole family, they're all musicians, so music has always been around me and everything. I feel like such a dork when I do that now. But yeah, so music has been around me for like super long. Creativity, my dad is a really great artist and illustrator and stuff like that. Yeah, just my mom kind of kept me sheltered. Well, I guess my parents, well, my dad when he was around too, but they kind of kept me sheltered in a bit, raised in a Christian household, so I wasn't really exposed to too much of things outside of gospel and like classical and shit. So yeah, I spent a lot of time inside just like drawing or like watching X-Men or something like that, or I don't know, just in my own brain. South Central was a little bit dangerous. I was raised in the 90s, during the 90s, and then like that was like the riots, like high gang activity, black on black crime, black on white crime, like police brutality. But mainly it was a lot of just like, it was just a lot of gang stuff. Like. You had to just walk on eggshells. You would just hope that this won't be the day that you get your ass beat. Pretty much every day was something like, and like I said, I went to a blood school. So sometimes they would just like be draped in all red from head to toe, and it'd be like 5 of them, and you see the little homie in front, and then they'll just like be like him, and then they'll just like, he had to bang on somebody, or they had to jump somebody and stuff. So it was crazy. It was interesting, but I got through it. I got through it. Coming out here to the Bay Area, like any other place you go to that's new, you get nervous, you know? But I found my clan very fast, very, very fast. My biggest challenges was like learning how to like bomb hills, cause I was living on Pine, you know, and I was like skating everywhere. And I'm usually used to flat ground, you know, and I would like bomb with hills, like and stuff like that in LA. But y'all hills out here in San Francisco was like next level. But I was like, I gotta skate, you know, like I'm not about to just walk my board 3 blocks down, so I had to bomb it. Other than that was like, I don't know, like keeping like food in my pocket and shit. But other than that, like finding a clan was like, it was fairly easy, you know. And I just had to figure out, kind of cipher through and just see. Because at first, it wasn't that many black people that I knew in the Bay, because I was in San Francisco Academy of Arts, you know. And then I started like finding different people, like my homie Reginald Sylvester, like he was one of the first like homies. And then my other homie Jeff. And then I found Dragons much later. We found each other much later and stuff. But it took a minute. It took a good little minute. But then it clicked, you know. And like Oakland was a place that kind of like brought me in like easily, you know. Like there wasn't even like a question. They were just like, they didn't even know where I was from probably. It was just like, oh, we sync up. Like everybody here like is young and is looking for something like new and creative and like organic and radical and like dirty, you know. So just all synced up. Them hellas. So like that was my art collective that I was in. And we started off in Tenderloin at this one spot, and we were just all just like big mobbed up, bro, just like creating like photography, like music, illustration, like graffiti, just every asset of art we were doing, you know. I was even making like rings and stuff like that, like clothing design, everything. Like we were just trying to try it all out. And that was my homie Scuba, Philly, Reginald, Dragons was in there, me, like just a bunch of us big mobbed up. And then we moved to this warehouse off of Pharrell on 25th. And we used to throw these big old art parties, bro. And it's like, we would like spend so much time curating like the art that we would put up on the walls and whatnot. And like just the different, like we even had like moments where dudes were doing like sculpture and just putting that in the middle of it. And nobody would give a shit because they'll just be like boozed out. And just like, they were just there to party. And then we would perform and shit. So it just like, nobody would ever spend time looking at the art. They were just like, oh, that's tight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where's the chicks? Where's the liquor? It was funny as hell. But we would have the craziest parties there, and it was sometimes where like a fight would break out and then like a mob would happen. And I remember this one time a helicopter was like going over like our warehouse, and then like the police came in with automatic weapons, and then just like they arrested the homie and like took all our weed because we was like growing and shit. It was crazy, bro. It was super tight. It was ill, man. But we learned a lot. Like we built a studio in there. And then like, so say for instance, my room is here. I would walk out my room and it'll be a studio, a recording studio. I walk out of that room, then it'll be a long ass white wall with nothing but like new cans, like fresh cans. And I'll just pick up a can and just start like going crazy on the wall. And then I'll like walk up to the left side, and like my homie Josh was like a photographer. So he was working on photos, or he was shooting models. So I'll go over there and check that out. Then I walk upstairs to the kitchen area, and then Lino was doing some type of director thing. Like, it was just like, yo, every moment was like something to do. And I feel like that's why I learned a lot. It was like second college. For me, I knew that there was a certain sound that I liked ever since I was young. Stevie Wonder, the Neptunes, who else was heavy on that? Just certain jazz sounds, certain like jazz chords. Earth, Wind and Fire, they were big on those certain sounds. And yeah, I was just trying to like find it. I didn't know what the fuck it was, but I knew it was something. And then like my homie, his name is Channel Trace, and he was like he's a producer, and he was always playing keys. And he was like, oh, that's you know what I'm saying, that's a 7 chord progression. Or he would say, oh, that's a rolling fives or something like that. All these like just jazz progressions and shit. But it's just like, he'd be like, yeah, I got you. So then like, he would just like play these progressions, and like all these different like endorphins were like releasing in my brain. I'm like, yo, this is insane. This is exactly like, every time I listen to that N.E.R.D breakdown, like it would just shift me into like fucking like just sunsets and rainbows and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, this is insane. Like, this is exactly what I love about this type of music. I want to make this. And he was like, I got you. So then we moved to Koreatown in Los Angeles, and we just worked, bruh. Like, we lived in Koreatown for 2 months and was just hamming away. Like, at any moment of the day, it would be in the morning, it'd be evening, it'd be at nighttime. We'd just be going, and just try to create as much as possible. And then out of those sessions came I'm Ugly, you know? And that was me finding out what those sounds were, you know? So, yeah. That was definitely a pivotal moment, because I really wanted to go into like more like funk and like groovy and like, you know what I'm saying, like more like singing and just like more like dance songs and, you know what I'm saying, like that type of stuff that like, you know, some Neptunes would have did, you know, or like some Outkast would have did. I wanted to like kind of merge those worlds and like be that sound for like today. And yeah, I'm Ugly was like that next step into it. I guess before, all right, so I've been working on this project called Super Good since like 2013. And every time I try to drop it or started work on it, I just never felt like I was in the right mind state because of my own self, because of my own issues, because of the world issues, because of whatever's going on. It's just like, probably ain't the time to be sitting there gloating about how good things are. So I've always kind of, you know, been in this area of, you know, transmuting like the bad to good, but highlighting the bad, you know? That's what I'm Ugly, Extra Ugly, you know, and then like now the Falling Man. So I guess the Falling Man is like my final bow in a sense of, you know, I feel like I'm ready now to drop Super Good. But I needed one more moment to just be like, you know, like I kind of had it where it was more like pointing it towards other people. with myself with the last projects, but the Falling Man, this is directly correlated to my life, you know? So I guess I wanted to just like have a moment where I can be like just super transparent with just my certain falls. So Falling Man is just like things falling out of place, you know, like falling in love, falling out of love, like falling for the hype, you know? Me coming from a Christian background and doing hip hop, so kind of feeling like the fallen angel, you know? Like every song has to do, I mention fall in every single song, and if I don't mention it, then it has to do with the direction of falling. Like the first song, I don't say fall, but the name of the song is Bow. So the direction of bowing is when you fall to your knees and you submit. And it's just like, that was the thing too. It's just like within me signing to a big label, you know what I'm saying? It's the whole pressures of trying to like, you know, go with the flow of what's popular, you know? So it's like, for me, I'm super punk, bro. Like that's always been my core. So it's like, I'm always saying like, fuck this, fuck that. Like I can't submit, you know? I can't submit to any of that shit because that's not me, you know? In it, you know, people get popular so fast from like, you know, going with the sounds, you know, and just going with what's already popular. And it's just like, it's this battling force within me. It's just like, what do I do the same thing? Or, you know what I'm saying? But if I do, then I submit, you know? I fucking bow, you know? And it's just like, nah, bro, I'm a double Taurus, bro. I'm super prideful, bro. Like in the best way, but also in the worst way. So I'm just like, no, fuck that shit. So yeah, it's just a lot of my inner battles, you know, in general. And then like as the project progresses, it just gets like heavier. Like at first it's just like, oh, I like these, you know. These sounds, you know, sounds are, you know, are tight, you know. I feel like the more attractive songs are closer to the beginning of the project, to the mid project. And then as it gets further down the line of the project, it just gets like heavier and like wilder, and to the point where we get to this last song, Sally Mae and shit, and it's just like things are in full chaos, and it's just like you actually get to hear the character fall to their demise at the end. So I kind of wanted to make a project that sounded like a movie. I was watching a lot of like Stanley Kubrick, I was listening to a lot of classical music, and yeah, I just wanted to just do something that was just totally different, but totally myself, you know? And I don't know, I just wanted to make an album or a project that sounded like a score to a film, kind of like a darker film. I signed to Republic because I just wanted to be closer to commercial opportunities, really. If I ever wanted to just like make a choice to go to radio, I wanted to go to radio, you know? Like I wanted to be closer to licensing and sync. I wanted my songs in TVs. I wanted to be in television, commercials, movies, games. And it's just like, they've been doing all that. And lucky enough, my music is creative enough, that's not even like a question. It just enters into like the home realm of licensing and sync. But yeah, like Republic, they do all that. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to just like bridge that gap. It's such a stigma with like signing with like major labels and stuff. And I don't know, I'm kind of like the person that's just like, I don't believe it till I stick my finger in the fire. So, but it's been tight so far. It's been insane. I look at all my favorite artists and it's just like how they like hit a different level and they were in like a commercial realm, you know? Like that being like, you know, L Boogie, Outkast, Kanye. Like all them, like they were in like a commercial realm, and it's just like, yo, like why not be a household name, you know? And it's like, it helps that like you really love your art, you know, and you really trying to just like bring something new to the table. But it's just like, hell yeah, bro, like let's just see what happens. And it's just like, if it don't work out, then it don't work out, and I just like continue on with my life, you know? But they've been insane, they've been amazing, but they've let me be as creative as I want to be. You know, and I'm wild, but compared to a lot of artists that they have, like I'm fucking wild. But they let me be who I am, and then they love me because like my music just works and all that shit, and all TV and like in movie and stuff like that. So yes, the next step is radio, and we're gonna see how this goes. You know, I'm very like interested in see how the realms of radio works. Like I've never been an artist to push a song for a year or two, and there's artists who do that, who push a song for a year or two, and they just keep pushing, keep putting money behind it, fire behind it. They tour off of one song. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always like a person that drops a body of work. So this will be the first time that we do this. I'm very like intrigued. I'm a little bit nervous. Freaked out, but also I'm excited to see what happens. But Republic is tight though, and they got some crazy names on there too. I mean, mean, like, once again, like, with Super Good, it's gonna be more, like, just groovy shit, back to, like, the I'm ugly stuff. It's gonna be, like, way more attractive, it's gonna be way more honey. So it's like, this is my final bow, like, this is my final moment to, like, you know, like, just satisfy my punk spirit, you know? And it's like, I'm gonna end up doing, like, a secret project in the future, where it's just gonna be just like nothing but just like punk cuts, like super hard, like minute in like 50-second, like just like race shit. But that's gonna be like later on. But from here on out in my career, it's probably gonna be more attractive, more like songs. Like we're gonna be going to the radio for the first time. So you know, it's just one more moment that I needed for the Falling Man to just kind of say this, have this moment. You know, bring up these certain topics and stuff. And it's like, it's not like that grittiness is not gonna continue, you know, but it's just, at this moment now, you're gonna get more of like of attractive. Like it's not gonna be the whole where it's gonna like change into something crazy by the end of the project. Like it's gonna be smooth. Like it's gonna be something that you can play from the beginning to the end, you know, so we'll see. We'll see how everything works out. Definitely Quincy being one of them. I love Michael. That's without being said. I fucking love Michael, bruh. But it's like Michael's career changed due to him meeting Quincy, bruh. Like Quincy saw like he had the vision for Michael to take him, because everybody called him Lil Michael, you know, like from Jackson 5. Nobody took him seriously, you know, so he was just like, but he knew that he had a voice, and it's just like, there should be no reason why this voice goes to waste just because he's Little Michael. So he scooped him up, you know what I'm saying, put him in them sessions, you know, he was like arranging, producing, wherever the hell he was doing stuff, but like Michael coming with Quincy, we got Off the Wall, we got Thriller, we got Bad, like some of the most influential albums, you know what I'm saying? Like the Thriller being the best selling album, like I don't know if that's to date, but I think it may be, you know? This dude's a Mecca, bro, like what? Like, you know, like he literally like veered history, bro. And it's like he wants me to perform. This is the second time he wanted me to perform. Like first time, it was to open up for N.E.R.D. And he approved it. And then the second time was for this show that was happening in New York. And both times we got to like talk to him, man. And it's just like, yo, like bro, you don't even understand. This is insane. Like even having a conversation with you, and he hella chill, bro. He hella chill. Like he's super chill. He got stories for days, bro. But it's just like, yeah, like I don't even know how to place it. It's insane. It's like a god, like lowercase g. It's a god in music, bro. And to be able to just sit down with him, you know. And like it's a good amount of people that I want to meet, like that I haven't met yet. But he was definitely one of them. And it's like it's lucky to be able to talk to him while he's still alive, you know. Because it's just like we're losing him like day by day. I wish I could have talked to Michael. I wish I could have talked to Prince. I would have had all type of things to say to both of them, bro. But it's just like past, man. I wish I could have seen Outkast live while they were performing. I missed that whole train and stuff like that, you know. So it's to be able to appreciate that moment. It's insane. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Terrace Martin, he was really tight to me. To find out that like we had such a, like our paths in our past like went like this, because he was like doing horn sections for my dad and like shine a different light on my dad that I didn't even know, because I don't really fuck with my dad. But like he like showed me a different light. And I'm just like, wow, like he really respected my dad, bro. And I'm just like, that's insane. So like that moment was really tight. There's more, but those are like the most, like from my most recent like interactions, those two were insane, bro. I didn't talk to him that night that I opened up for him, ironically, but then a month after I ran into him at a boutique in Los Angeles and stuff. And that was interesting, cause it was like, it wasn't even like it just kind of happened, bro. It's like if we were both like in Oakland and like I'm walking out the liquor store, you walking in the liquor store. It was like that, bruh. So it was like I was walking out of a boutique and he was walking in the boutique. And then like first I see his shoes, the little human shoes or whatever. And then he got the shorts on and I look up and I see like this grill, this like colored grill and this blonde hair. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? like the chances of like running into Pharrell like that is like slim to none. And it's just like, yo, I mean, like, we had a quick little whatever, but I don't know, the magnetic is like happening like even stronger. I don't know, just probably because of the type of music I make, probably because of who I am, maybe my own energy and stuff like that, but like the people that I'm attracting, like casually, is like, it's blowing my fucking brain right now, bro. I mean, but same thing with Channel, bro. Like Channel is like, he's been like the keys man for so long, for him to like attract Elton John, it's like, it's insane. So yeah, but nah, Pharrell's tight. I met Pharrell and I met Shay, and Shay knew my music. He was like, oh shit, he was like, you're Duckwrth, like it's good to put a face with the music. I'm just like, nigga, what? What? Like, nigga, you're Shay, man, you're N.E.R.D. I didn't meet Chad, but Dragon said that Chad was in the hallway, like right before the show, Chad was in the hallway playing like he was playing like this transparent flute or something like that, bro. Oh, like, he was playing like a transparent flute or something. I was like, bro, that sounds like Chad. Chad is an alien, bro. Chad is a fucking alien, so.